Okay. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Mad Day Tribunal. And this is the last game of the season, like game week 38. Like, yeah, it's nice to have you guys watching us. And today we have a comeback guest. Everybody liked Deji, and they asked us to bring him back. He's here again. And then again today we have Alex. So welcome, Deji and Alex. It's nice to have you guys on MDT. So we'll do the usual. We'll go through our prediction sheet. Yeah, Sheyi is leading the game with 5 points. Michael go on standalone. Michael predicted the Brighton. Who did Brighton play with today? And Brighton
Man United.
United
No,
game.
no, no. Yeah.
Yeah, I said a draw and Joseph said a draw, but you said Man U was going to win. I'm not sure why I doubted Man U, but yeah, there was a 3-0 win. And then I also predicted Burnley Wolves. I said a draw, and so that was my standalone. But so I have 5 points, and then Michael and Joseph have 3 points. So yeah, we'll go straight into our agenda for today. Today's the last game of the season. We'll just do like a recap of like this full season. Like, thought what you guys think about the last games. Yeah, so we'll do that, and then we'll talk about some World Cup squad pickings, and then we'll talk about Pep leaving. And I guess before we go into all of that, Arsenal fans want us to congratulate them again, even if we did last week already. So again, congratulations, Arsenal fans, for winning the league on corners. Said FC corners.
Here we go again.
Anyways, congratulations, Deji. Alex looks like an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Congrats to you guys. Like, yeah, nice one. Okay, so West Ham did their best today. Actually, I know Michael too wanted West Ham to go instead of Spurs. They did their best today, but I guess it wasn't good enough, and they're relegating. I'm not sure what games you guys watched, but I tried to watch the Chelsea game. I predicted Chelsea was going to lose, and they lost as normal. And so one thing I want to ask today is, which coach impressed you guys the most this season?
Obviously, the coach of the season, Mikel Arteta. And I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this because I'm an Arsenal fan.
So why are you
Yes,
saying?
you are. Yes, you are.
Fan, right? The resilience. It keeps
Which
going
resilience?
over and over again. So wait, no, wait, listen. Hear me out. Okay, it's not easy to 3 times in a row. You work so hard, you fight hard, you instill principle, and you get within touching distance of the final point, and then you still don't make it, and you come back again the next season, and you go again, end up second 3 times in a row. I gotta give it up to that guy, because a lot of people, it would have broken them down mentally. No, for real. So I have to give it to him. He's a very strong person. Personally, let's forget football banter. A lot of people don't. They give up after the first or the second or the third try, but he did not.
But I kind of disagree with that, because that's your job. You are paid to win trophies. So
Yeah.
like, okay, he came second 3 times, bro.
And so are 19, so are
Slot came and
19 other managers in the league. They were also paid to win trophies. Unfortunately, only one ended winning.
Okay. So me, I disagree because I think Arsenal had, like, Ateta did a good job, obviously. Congratulations to Arsenal. But Arsenal had maybe the second best squad in the league going into the season. Actually, people had number one. People had the best
So
squad.
actually was number one.
Yeah, people had the best squad, honestly. The TV tickets, people had the best squad going into it. So it was more about he had to win it. Yes, okay, he has mental resilience for reaching the stage and finally winning it. But the squad and the job there meant that he was supposed to win it. Not winning it would have been the real problem there rather than winning it. So him be the best manager for that, I thought. In my opinion, the best managers are in no real order is Keith Andrews, because I fully thought Brentford were going to relegate this season. You cannot carry your set piece coach. So I fully thought
He
that
was
one.
Michael.
Hold that one away.
Sorry to cut you short there. I think the last game they played at home, they were playing videos of all pundits saying they were going to relegate.
Yeah, I
And I
fully
thought
know
about
that
it.
one.
Yeah.
Because I did not know who he was from anywhere from Adam, and he came when Thomas Frank had basically been doing a very good job just keeping them in mid-table, afloat and mid-table. They were not even a fully mid-table team until this season. So for them to be as close, finishing close to European spots is big. Um, Lebris, I don't know how to pronounce his name, the Sunderland coach, going from first season back in the Premier League to Europe next season. That's a big deal. Who else? And look, let's give Carrick because of where Man United were and where they are ending up now. But these three, I think, are above Ateta for me.
Alex, what's up? Are you going to stick to Ateta too, like your
Okay, so I would. So I might. Yeah, so I might want to give more context to what both Michael and Dejan said. However, for bias sake, I would say Arteta. But I mean, the managers this season who had done over and beyond. I would say Andoni Iraola stood out for me. Given the fact that they lost practically their whole defense and they were able to still, fight for Champions League spots. That was remarkable. Playing beautiful football, high intensity football, and they basically decided the league. They beat Arsenal to put a serious dent in our hopes, and also they gave Arsenal the league. So in that crazy way, I would say Anthony Iraola, in my opinion, could be the best. I would also look at Irandu, like you said. You bring in your goalkeeping, or set piece manager and make him a first team manager. You lose Mbuemo, you lose the other striker to Newcastle, you lose your captain, not that to Arsenal, and
Yeah.
you have to now build that team without any, reputable top nine. You bring in Igor, and I mean, you're punching above your weight, doing mid table. That's fantastic, But to summarize it all, I think Arteta, for winning the league, it's not easy. 22 years, you can't take it for granted. So I would give it to Arteta. Just.
I feel like Arsenal fans are in some secret club. Like you guys sing the same song. Like it's fun to watch. Like you made a very good case for Iraola. Like I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I
This
didn't even think about Areola,
he
so
beat, like I think he drew with Arsenal that time. Was the one that kind of showed that people could actually play Arsenal and then beat them or something like that. And
Yeah,
yeah,
he beat us right before
yeah.
we played Man City in the Carabao Cup
Yeah,
final.
exactly.
So yeah, that's interesting.
and I think Iraola finished the season 18 games unbeaten,
Yes,
which
yes,
is
yes.
Yeah,
That's
that's
mad.
massive.
And he said beginning he lost his defenders, like his good defenders,
Yeah,
and
but yeah,
he said
Yeah,
it's not about them. They just have young players from nowhere. When he lost Semenyo, we thought somebody even said last week like it's like they're even playing better without Semenyo. Like he lost
yeah.
Semenyo again in January and then just carrying on normal. Like it's the guy is good. And for me, I'm sticking with the Sunderland guy. I saw one stat this week that Sunderland has collected 22 points from losing positions. Like first of all, beginning of the season, the thing was that you couldn't beat Sunderland at home. Like that was what was going. Like those guys would always get a point at home. And I'm not sure what the guy plays. I don't know. I know my Mickey, the information person. I think he first started with like 4-2-3-1, but either in his defense, he set up as like 4-3-3 or 4-2-2. But whatever the guy does, and I think Shaka and one other guy, when those guys are playing, it's difficult to beat them. Like, and again, this is Shaka that he's not young, like, but he's still bossing the midfield. So for me, I like Iraola, but because everybody knows I'm a defensive-minded person, so I know everybody's front foot football, smiling football. Iraola he has done it very well, but this Lebris guy, they are going to play they are going to Europe. That's
that's massive.
huge.
That's massive.
Like today, they would have even dropped points but they still showed the 1 billion team like it's not by money. And this,
Were you expecting that? Now you said you know that they were never
my
going to
prediction
get
was
first.
that Arsenal was going to beat us.
Exactly. So
And they beat us well. Even before they scored, they were pressing. Sanchez was under pressure. Like the game was being played in the half and things like that. So yeah, I agree. Bournemouth has done very well. But now my question to you guys is, who should Bournemouth buy? They are going to Europe now. Can that team compete in Europe?
Oh, their manager is leaving, which I don't even know where is he going to anyway. Is
Probably.
he?
no, he hasn't announced anything, but they've already announced replacement. Marco Rose is coming to take over Bournemouth next season.
Okay, and I think Iraola already mentioned that he would like to remain in the Premier League. So
You
that
said
begs
that?
the question, like, yeah. And so that begs the question, like, which team do you think potentially he will be managing next season? It has to
Is
be
There's
it
only one.
the
There's only one team that is
highest.
left.
what job
Bournemouth.
is available?
That's
It's the only
it.
one that is actually technically available. Liverpool,
Okay.
technically.
Are you firing out the slot already?
I'll be very surprised if they don't sack Slot. I'll be very, very surprised.
Me
Why?
too. Me too.
It's the Champions League.
Yes,
Barely
but the
made
way
it.
the season ended up, oof, the way the season went,
I thought the board
this
backed
is
him. I
It
thought the
came to
board
talk.
backed him.
He told us they backed him. He told
that's it.
so we don't know. He said it that the board is backing him. He said it. This guy is funny. He said it himself that the board is behind him. So we don't know whether it's just bluffing or it's just being very confident. So yeah. Again, my question is, who does Bournemouth? Can Bournemouth use that team to compete in Europe? That's so this front football. So again, is it the team or the manager? The new manager coming. I don't really know about him. And
Yeah.
then competing in Europe is not even the competition; it's the number of games you have to play.
Yeah.
So it's that intensity. Like they're going to be playing 2 games and all of those things. So are we still going to be seeing the same Bournemouth, or it's going to be a different Bournemouth?
I don't think they can compete. And I feel like they're still gonna lose some players this transfer window. Teams are gonna come and shop. So
Like Arsenal wants Kropi, Abi.
oh yeah,
Like,
give me
yeah,
that guy.
it's good to
Give
leave,
me
but
Cupid. So they're gonna lose maybe 2 or 3 key players, and that's gonna weaken them. Their recruitment, if they're able to sign, good players, then that will also decide. But overall, I don't think they can make it in Europe. I think they will. They don't. I don't think they will qualify to the next stage.
Fair enough.
I agree. I agree it will be difficult. Well, for one thing, Iraola's very aggressive football is probably not going to happen next season under the new manager. But also, we have seen with Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa and who else, Crystal Palace and teams that play on Thursdays for the last couple of seasons that Thursday to weekend this is a very difficult this thing to do. To constantly play very well on Thursday and come back with that same intensity again for the weekend. And Premier League doesn't give freebies in like move your game to a Monday the way France, for example, does for PSG and La Liga does for his own team. So that's something that I have to let you navigate. So next season, if they are clever enough, they should look at how other teams that have played on the Thursday to Sunday, Chelsea, a good example, and just build a second team for those early Thursday games at least for the group stages. Just build a second team the way Chelsea did for their conference league, and that's the best advice I can give them because every other thing is going to be very difficult for them.
Okay, that's for Bournemouth. But I think Sunderland, the way Sunderland plays, I think their manager has even shown us that he makes use of his subs very well. Because if you watch his games, sometimes he won't start that LFA guy. When maybe it seems that they're tired, he will bring the guy for like more energy and tempo. So Sunderland, I'm not worried about Sunderland. I think they have like a robust bench. I'm not sure
I'm
how
even more worried for Sunderland self because
really why.
basically what Sunderland did this season was they backed themselves. They spent a lot of money in order to be to avoid relegation. That is still going to come. It's not they just kicked it down the road. That is still going to be a problem later. I don't see them being able to refresh the squad the way they did this season. And they still have the Thursday games to join. So their own is even going to be much harder than at least Bournemouth. We feel like Bournemouth are going to lose players and reinvest smartly. Sunderland are not really going to lose any players, and they still need more players in order to compete going
Yeah.
to the front. So their own is even far more difficult to me than
Like they
Bournemouth.
have depth.
Well,
No, not depth in terms of big names, but this guy always brings up players from the bench and to throw it. I'll just see some people come up from the bench and they will come and play. Like, yeah.
depth is depth, right? Like, okay, think about it like this: Nottingham Forest had depth going into Europe. It's fact they had depth, but on a Thursday you're playing one team from I don't want to describe any country now. Let's say you're playing one team from Israel. Here you can decide, okay, no, I can bench like five starters and rest five guys and put five. But then next this thing you're playing Fiorentina, for example, from Italy. Can't really bench like your five starters. You're playing Fiorentina on Thursday, and maybe you're not playing Arsenal at the weekend. You have to now decide, okay, who am I going to bet? But I still need to win this European game because you have to win the game in front of you first before you start to play there. So that's why it's going to be far more difficult for them because now like, you have to learn how to maneuver things like that. And Nottingham Forest was doing it by like playing Igor Jesus, is that his
Jesus.
name?
Yeah, Igor
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, yeah. In the Thursday games, and then playing Wood when it was available. Then they flipped it again. They started playing Awoni. But by the time the games became tougher, that whole thing went away. Morgan Gibbs White was playing Thursday, Friday. You have to make decisions based on things like that. So it's going to be difficult for Sunderland more than Bournemouth, in my opinion.
Okay. Another team that for me I would say blows off and cold is Brighton. They didn't make it.
Yeah.
But Brighton is a team that this week they can play and they will beat Manchester City. Next week they will go and play with a West Ham and they will lose woefully. And I think the manager looks decent. Like he's looks stable. Like I think he's doing what the job of a Brighton manager should do, like keeping them there. But what do they need to like get out of where they are right now? Because well, maybe are they looking to get out of where they are right now, or they're okay with what they are doing? What do you think?
To be honest, me, I don't even really focus on those guys. Like the rest of the Premier League, I'm just being honest. I don't focus on anybody else. My Arsenal,
They don't exist to
that's where
you.
my mind is. I don't watch any other team. I don't care about what they're doing. It's just Arsenal. Like so.
These guys are in the Premier League. They are not in League One. No. The way you said it,
I
They don't
know.
exist
Maybe
to you.
only when I play against them I get to watch them. But aside from that, I don't watch anybody else. I see Man U fans they be focusing on Arsenal games and the rest. I don't care. Like I don't even watch their games. I don't care about what's going on. But I think I agree with what Michael said. They are very inconsistent. What you said, Shay, they're very inconsistent. Right? When you expect them to win, they will lose or draw, and then when you expect them to fumble, you will see them coming up with a result. So, and Brighton has also suffered a lot in terms of losing star players, trying to rebuild and losing star players season after season, losing their managers. So, it's hard to say, it's hard to predict where they're going to, like they're where they're going to end up next season. But I feel like they're just going to remain a mid-table team, keep competing in the Premier League. I don't see them going relegation anytime soon. I think they're going to stay up for a minute.
no, of course, yeah. I don't think. I don't know. I don't think they. I doubt that. I would be shocking if they are trying to if they would be headed towards that zone. Yeah. Another thing I wanted to ask in terms of like the final game of the season. Eddie Howe, is it still does it deserve that job? Like, should he still have that job next season?
At Newcastle,
Yeah, yeah, and Marco Silva, like, were they impressive? To me, they were not impressive. That's my opinion. I don't think Eddie Howe should be where he is with this. I think he has a solid team. And I think it was underwhelming this season. I'm not sure why he couldn't get the best out of Walde. Their tall striker, and I hear the guy wants to leave. But I think it was very underwhelming. Fulham did what it does. Marcus Silva, that's what it does season in season now. But I think it was also underwhelming. So, do you guys think this is the end of an era for some managers? Or yeah, because we've seen young managers have come and they've They're showing us that they can do this. Like, yeah, Carrick is there. This Keith Andrews guy is there. Sunderland manager is there. Like, they're impressive, and even Leeds manager, like with what he has, making a big statement, and you have Eddie Howe being a bit. He's just there. Like, he wins when he wants to win, and he will just lose like 4 or 5 games. So if you are calling for slot end, I think
Yeah, yeah, no, I fully accept that Eddie Howe should step down. Maybe Iraola will go to Newcastle, but it'd be weird that he finished the European sport and then decided to go and meet Newcastle that finished what? Where did they finish? 14, 15? Or that low. So Eddie Howe, Eddie Howe, I don't know, Newcastle will be weird this season. I think he should go if I'm being fair. Um, because I still feel that Newcastle's midfield is one of the best midfields in the Premier League, in the sense that they have a perfect balance between Guimaraes, Tonali, and Joe Linton. The one is the like aggressive, I will kick all of you away if I see you near the ball player. The other one is a much more sensible box to box midfielder, and Tonali is everything at once. He's both a creator and a this thing, slightly box to box player, as a register player, basically. Newcastle's Newcastle's biggest problem for me is the fact that they kept dropping points end of games. It's insane. I think they have the highest number of points lost from winning position. They kept dropping and conceding late goals and dropping points. End of season. He did not figure out how to use the striker that he bought, which is fair because they bought the striker as the very last available person they could get after losing Isak really late in the window and going for everybody from Jackson, losing Ekitike to Liverpool. So you will see that they were rushing just anybody, any human being that really would come. And then they got the human being and they could not figure out how to use that guy who is actually a very good striker who may or may not start for Germany at the World Cup. This is depending on how this guy uses Havertz. Decide between him and Havertz, like basically between a Premier League winning striker and Watermeadow. So you have a really good striker, and he could not figure out how to use it. He kept using goals sometimes. We started no show up at all this season. So yes, he had a lot of problems to deal with, but he also did not show himself as somebody who could solve all these problems that were coming up throughout the season. So
But okay, that's my confusion with managers. You've mentioned all these people, and you didn't even mention the key player Osula. He had Osula that could have delivered, and that's the thing all these managers will do. You have tools on your bench, you will not even use them. Like, I know Joseph is always clamoring for, if the people they are playing, if they are not doing well, go to the bench, and when he said trusting Osula, Osula was dropping numbers. So
yeah,
I don't know why he was trying out Gordon as whatever he was doing when he had a striker on a young striker that could prove a point. So yes, I don't know. For me, yeah, he should. I think he should step down. Like, Newcastle they have a good team. They have a Langa. They have well, Gordon is gone now, so
yeah,
they don't have problems. With Gordon and things like that. So yeah, Ediao needs to like find a new job. But again, we've congratulated Arsenal. Let's congratulate Bruno. You guys will not get tired of hearing about Bruno. We've said it a lot of times on this channel. Congratulations to Bruno for winning the Premier League Player of the Season. I think that's what he won. So like, yeah, we had called it here, and it's nice to see that he won that. Well deserved. And today he now even top it up with a goal and assist. I don't know if Arsenal fans have anything to say like about Bruno winning the award. Like, Alex is smiling. So what do you think about Bruno getting the well deserved award?
So okay, so for me, Bruno, I can't. It's very difficult to critique him in the sense that I come from the era of where I've been spoiled with quality attacking midfielders. You know, coming from the likes of Zidane down to Joao Pedro, Riquelme. Even Del Piero. Then it now comes down to recent times where you watch players like Iniesta, Ozil. Even when Sex did a bit of 10-ish before he moved back to his core position. So I've seen tens who can do who are tidy with the ball and they also put up numbers. One of the reasons why I have a contrary opinion to Bruno is he's not tidy with the ball. Is he plays for the stats. He's a very stat player. He runs around the pitch, but he's always going for the Hollywood pass. And I find it difficult to appreciate that type of football. I've watched players who could control games. Basically, they don't lose passes, and yet they pull up those numbers.
So
But not to say
do you have those players in Arsenal, these players you are watching that you are talking about, do you have them in your current Arsenal team?
no, unfortunately, but also Man U don't
Are
have
you taking about
the
Arsenal? You're talking about my.
I mean, Man, you don't have the title winning squad Arsenal does. Now, Man U practically plays their football to make Bruno at the edge of the sphere. So even when Man U might lose 5-3, Bruno might get 2 assists. But having said all that, I'm congratulating Bruno. He has done an amazing feat. He's rather breaking Thierry Henry and Kelvin De Bruyne's record. But I mean, 8 goals and 21 assists. It's bare minimum. It's bare minimum. That shouldn't be winning the Premier League Player of the Year, in my
So which
opinion.
Arsenal midfielder has those numbers? Bare minimum, bare minimum. Which of your midfielders have those numbers, please?
We don't know.
See, 8 goals and 21 assists. Henry had 24 goals and 20 assists.
Great,
Salah last season had 28 goals and 18 assists. If
great,
you're talking about numbers, those are numbers. You can't be calling 8 goals. When Ozil did
But,
19 assists, Ozil had 14 goals. And he didn't
but
even come close to Premier League
but
best
again,
player.
you are calling
somebody in
for
the
players
somebody in
in
the team
winning
that won the
teams.
Premier League has those numbers. That's the
Yeah,
point.
these are Premier League winning teams, not
So,
a
When
so,
team that we did not
name a
expect to
player
even
in
finish
that
in
team
top
that has
five.
those numbers.
so my question, Premier League has gone from a position of stat base to value base. When you are getting 21 assists, let's look at the teams you are getting this 21 assists for or on. Let's look at
But your
the
team also
importance the
teams now.
importance of the assist you are having. So for me, to be honest, the player of the season this year is not even Declan Rice, is David Raya, based on the quality of play and goalkeeping he has done this season. Nobody comes close to David Raya. Nobody. In
Yeah.
terms of personally winning the league for Arsenal, David Raya did that. But of course, for whatever reason, they've given it to Bruno Fernandez. I'll congratulate him. He's broken the assist record. He's not a new feat. It's very difficult because, I mean, Henri did it 2004. Kelvin Brother did it, I think, maybe 4 years ago. And I mean, he's breaking it, so it's fine.
I don't know. I just wanted to hear that from an Arsenal perspective because I think that is disrespectful if you can't call one or two players from your team who have those same stats and then you call those stats bare minimum. No, if it's bare minimum, then at least one or two players in your team should be getting those numbers. Like that's the least they could do.
No, so there was a season, eh? Sorry,
No,
just to just to just to
this
just
season, this
just
season.
to counter that statement, eh? There was a season, 2022-2023 season. You had the whole Arsenal front line doing 15 goals and over 10 assists back to back. We didn't win the league. It wasn't tangible. You had Odegaard doing 15 on penalty goals and 9 assists. You had Martinelli doing 15 goals and 7 assists. You had Saka doing 16 goals and 9 assists as well. These guys put up numbers that were tangible, but we didn't win the league. People called us bottlers. So this season, our style of play wasn't fine to watch, but it was based on efficiency, controlling game and winning. Now, unfortunately, when you're trying to control game, you don't play Hollywood football. You don't start passing ridiculous passes. If you watch what Man U plays for Bruno Fernandez to play those Hollywood passes to score goals. They don't care if they lose. As long as Bruno Fernandez gets an assist or gets a goal. It's not sustainable, to be honest. And next season, I can guarantee all Man U fans, regardless of whether they want to hear it, they'll be found wanting. They'll be found
Wow,
wanting when
big
they
claim,
start playing. When they start playing three fixtures per week, though, I mean they'll be found wanted.
You know the nice thing about MDT is you always keep receipts. So like next season, we'll be seeing if your claim is true.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Thank you for congratulating me anyway. So, so in terms of Pep, one of the greatest, like the greatest in the game, is this is he has played his last game. He has coached his last game for Manchester City today, and Enzo is going to Man City. No, I don't think it's a rumor anymore. This guy is going there. Do we think that City will be like United? Because United, their woes kind of began when Fergie left. I don't think they had a proper transition and things like that. So, what do you guys expect from City, like after Pep? Alex, since you said
Okay.
City found wanting,
Okay.
City be found
So
wanting after Pep.
okay, so City will keep doing what they're doing. You see, the thing is about creating a structure behind the first team. City has a structure. They have a sporting director, you have a technical director, you have people who make sound decisions. So Maresca is not coming in as a manager, he's coming as a head coach, if I recall. So he has his responsibilities. And you have people above him who also have responsibilities as well. City has a fantastic squad. I mean, the last time I checked, they have the best squad in the world. Not by close margins, by a distance, right? So looking at this, they've been able to phase out the old players gradually. John Stone is leaving, Bernardo Silva is leaving. They still have young guys. You still have the likes of Tijani Reinders. Rodri might be going to Madrid. You have Nico Gonzalez there. You have Phil Foden is still there. You have a lot of players. Ryan Cherki, who absolutely is an amazing number 10. Someone I would reckon with has higher potentials than Bruno Fernandez, but I mean, we pass that. Is in Man City. So you have a lot of players in Man City, and they have one of the best keepers in the world in terms of a proper stopper in Donorama. So I see Man City challenging for titles in coming years. You have Ellen Haaland there. So you have fantastic players. They will be there or thereabouts. Maresca, now, coming to Maresca from his time in Chelsea and Leicester, what I've been able to notice about the manager is he's a tactical genius. He's not necessarily, I don't see him as a league manager. I see him as a champions, a tournament manager, a manager who is very flexible tactically. If you watch the World Club Cup they played against PSG, the tactical nuance he had to outsmart Luis Enrique is highly applaudable. He did an amazing work there, and that's the type of manager I see. But I don't know if he has the pedigree or the technical depth to play 38 matches and win the league. I don't know. We are yet to see that. Hopefully, he doesn't. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but and Mickey has always said this every time about Enzo's tactics, and the thing is, being a tactical manager is not the same as being able to play and
Yeah.
win most of your Premier League games. And that's where you see, like, okay, maybe Arsenal is not going to dominate for the next few years because yeah, they have a complete team. They have the best manager, like you guys, some of you guys have alluded to. But something I don't agree with you on is City's defense. I don't think City has a good defense. I've watched a new, and I don't know if it's a new injuries. Some when he came back from his injuries this season, and he's looked quite poor. I don't know if he's looked quite poor or O'Reilly has just done a better job at that position. That when O'Reilly is not playing there, I'm like, oh, what's going on? Yes, Nunes has been good. I think Nunes has been one of the standout players this season. But yeah, way is good, but the defense has looked shaky, and I'm not sure if the defense is looking shaky because maybe when Rodri is not playing, the midfield is shaky. But I don't quite agree with City's backline.
I'll call just one player for you. I'll call just one player for you. Josko Gavajo. Josko
Yeah, Jose
Gavajo
Gabagol, yeah.
is
That was
is
like
a
the injured
special.
past of the season.
Yeah, but he's back. He's a
He's
special,
back.
special type of defender. He's a hybrid defender.
Yeah,
He's in the
yeah.
Saliba's ability level. So they've not had him for almost the whole season, right? He stands out. So when he comes back into that Man City team, having Maguire and the Kusanovs and the likes of other guys, they would obviously get better. They'll get better. But I'm an
Okay.
Arsenal fan, and I'm praying for them not to do well.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, do you think Pep will get a new job? Because we all know Pep loves this game. That guy loves football. He loves the tinkering. Is he going to
Oh,
get a good job, or is taking a break for a minute?
oh, he said he's going to be club ambassador
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
already.
So
I think
actually,
they've announced him as club
a
ambassador
serious
already.
break.
I think he's fully retiring. I don't think he's going to manage another club again. It doesn't look like, at least, because the thing is that when you become a legend at a club and you spend that long, 10 years plus, and you are fully like, there's going to be a statue for him. They're naming a stand after you. There's really nothing. Why are you going to manage another club again? There's no point now. You've won everything, you've achieved everything. Yeah.
Exactly, and he loves the game. That's why I'm shocked. He's young and he loves.
But
What about national
again,
team? Will he
think
go to
about it
the
like
national
this. He's going to have a stand named after him. He's going to have a statue outside of the stadium. Yes, he's still young, but where will he go now that he can? I don't know. I don't see him managing again, honestly. I don't see which other club that he's going to go to, because he has to go to a different league for sure. He's not managing the Premier League. Oh, yeah, will he go back to Barcelona? He can't manage in La Liga. He can't really manage in Germany too. He has finished managing Bayern. So where will he go? PSG? I don't know. I don't think he's managing anymore. I think he's just going to.
Would he go manage the national team?
Oh, that's another one. It's possible, yes.
So when
It's
people
actually
say,
possible,
it
yeah.
seems like he loves football. That guy probably dreams, and that guy is one of those people, like you said. This one was like a first class candidate in school. He loves the game. He
Mhm.
dreams. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, see that ambassador. Maybe we'll see. Maybe you try to. Maybe we go to a national team or something like that. Okay, I think that's done for our recap. For we've captured everything on the full season, and we're looking forward to the next season. Now we're going to have World Cup to distract us, but looking forward to next season. So I guess we agreed that standout managers were Sunderland manager and Iraola for sure. Or some people said Mateta, but that wasn't. Not everybody agreed with that. So let's talk
Only
about.
the Arsenal fans here.
Okay, only that's not fast. And Alex said something that United we found one thing. That's the biggest claim. We're waiting for.
I agree
I
with him
think
on that one too,
they are the
honestly.
new band.
Because, like I said in the last one,
So, and
like I said in the last
before we go on, like I just wanted to say something real quick. So everyone keeps saying, "Oh, Arsenal, 22 years, no trophy." Mikel Arteta came in 6 years before he won the trophy. Blah blah blah. People seem to forget that even the great Sir Alex Ferguson, it took him 6.5 years after he joined Man U before he won the first league title for Manchester United. And before he came, Manchester United had gone 20 years without the league title. And then when Alex Ferguson joined, he now took them another extra 6.5 years. That's 27 years that they went without winning a major trophy. So I don't see any difference between Mikel Arteta and
So what you are saying is that
well,
it's going
there are
to
counter
attack
arguments to
want to
that.
become like Ferguson. Is that what
I'm
you're trying to
saying
tell
they
us
have
now?
the same. They started the same way. Arteta actually won an FA Cup, multiple Community Shield. Even though you guys say Community Shield is not a
Multiple?
trophy, I think he has won. Yeah,
Why are you guys calling Man United out? Oh wow.
Yeah, I agree with you too on that one. Chelsea to me is it's going to be. I don't put Man City as truly competing yet. I think Maresca is going to, even though he's a very good manager and that's a very good squad. But I think it's going to be more difficult for him and Man City to compete. I think Arsenal, obviously, number one. I think Chelsea are actually title contenders next season because they are
Title or
basically
top
playing.
four? Are you saying title or they're going to be in top four? Which one? Like, because they're two different
No, they
things.
are title
I
contenders.
don't
Chelsea are title
agree with
Really?
that too.
contenders.
I don't agree with that too.
I don't agree with that either. That's a
I
big
don't
claim.
agree
First of all, we don't
because
even Enzo has not signed a new contract.
Very simple thing. We have an elite manager is coming who knows the league, even though he has not managed in the league before. He knows the league. He understands the league. At least he has played in the league. So Chelsea are basically playing one game a week, except FA Cup games and Cali Cup games, but they are playing one game. There's no European game at all. So rest recovery is important. Rest recovery is going to be very big for them. They are going to be fresher than everybody else. And the simple way to look at it is look at Man U when they were playing one game a week and how they finished. If the season started when Carrick joined the club, they will be title winners right now. They will be league winners right now. So that 1 week
that's
no,
that.
no, it's fact. It's
I'm sorry,
fact. It's fact. Go and look at the stats. He won more points than everybody else from the minute he signed the
and I
deal.
understand that that's your personal
No, that's the
opinion.
factor thing. Go and look at him. Michael Carrick won more points than anybody else
Well,
this
the good
season
thing is,
as a manager.
the good thing is,
But it's not an
From
opinion.
when he joined, from when he joined. Eh? Yeah.
If the league started when Carrick came,
You can, that's why I say if the league
it's
started when
the
Carrick.
conditional statement.
well,
Yes. If not before, but when he has been the one. He has been so. He joined when they were playing basically one because they were out of FA Cup, they were out of Carling Cup. It was only the league they had. So I'm trying to use that as something to think about. That yes, you have to look at that as a very important thing.
quick question for you.
When your intensity is only at the weekend, you're not playing anything else. Then you rest. You come
Quick
back.
question for you. Remember there was a time man you didn't play for like 24 days, and then they came back and they
And
played
they
Leeds.
lost.
Who was their manager then, please?
And they
Who
lost
was the
that
manager
game.
then? Okay,
Carrick.
And they lost the game. We remember that one
okay,
very well. I
okay.
tell Man U
We,
fans,
the internet never forget. We
Well, the
remember.
North doesn't forget.
but oh, for sure now, for sure now, of course.
This one's are not
Yes, that's why it's our assumptions.
So,
That's why it's our analogies, right?
exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It starts with them now. Carrick didn't start with
That's why you're
Well, good
praising.
thing is that
It's
he's
not
going
as
to
if I'm
start with them
supporting
now
Man
next
U.
season.
Oh.
We'll see. We'll see.
you know,
We'll all
It's not
start
as if
with
I'm
zero
supporting
points
Man
next
U.
season, and we'll
I'm
see what happens.
okay,
That's
all
not
right.
Man U fan, but again, and I used that one to beat him last week. That yes, he spent 3 weeks and lost the game. So that's why I say I'm not supporting Carrick. I don't believe Man U are going to have a fantastic season next season because I don't think Carrick is that impressive as a manager. The games that he needed to win to show that he's a full proper manager. He lost most of those games. He lost.
He
He dropped points.
beat Arsenal though. He beat
He
Arsenal
beat,
though.
yeah, but again, they were playing counter football for those games. Whenever he had to not play counter football, he lost or dropped points. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nice. Okay. So like Mickey has some doubt about Carrick and United next season, and
Yeah,
then
always
talking
has that.
about Enzo going to City. There are some rumors that so it's not rumor like that's going around that Enzo Fernandez, the midfielder, wants to leave Chelsea. I guess they've not concluded a contract, and we know Enzo, the bold Enzo Maresca, likes the midfielder. He's fond of him. That was one of his best players. And there's some other rumors that Cucurella, Enzo wants to pick Cucurella. So do you guys think, and Alex has said that City has one of the best squads, but do you see any situation where Enzo would want to pick up some of his Chelsea players? Because managers like when he left Leicester, he took KDH, even if Chelsea at that time didn't make use of him. So do you see any situation where Enzo Maresca would want to poach any of the Chelsea players, and which of them do you think you want to buy? What about this? Wow. No, no, now, no, now. Compare him to people in the Premier League right now, please. No, 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 no. Let's
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Okay.
our viewers will
Let me
comment.
say
So
this for
it's going
Cucurella.
the viewers will judge this one. So you are saying Alex is saying today that Cucurella is an average left back. So
Okay.
wait, if we call top five left back indeed. Okay, wait, okay, let's ask you. In the Premier League right now, who are your first give us your top, do I say top three or top five? Let's even say top five. Let's see if Cucurella makes the cut. In the Premier League. Because we're calling Premier League. Like, you make you know sorry.
Is he even left? I don't even know where that guy plays. Really.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. Yeah. You say yeah.
guy is good. Yeah,
Yeah.
Truffaut is good. Yeah, it's very. Like,
Yeah.
I heard that Chelsea are trying to get Luis Auerbach. I don't know if you saw that rumor. That would be a good deal if they pull that.
If they can, or they should, because selling Lewis Hall was a very. And in short, most of the people that they sold for pure profit, again, is because of the pure profit thing and PSR. But many of them, because the two fullbacks at Newcastle, for example, are way better than the two fullbacks that Chelsea have in a sense. And it's Gusto I'm talking about, not Rhys James. Because Rhys James is far better. But Gusto and Cucurella, I think Hall and Ibrahimovic are better than them.
Yeah.
To his point about Cucurella, yes, Cucurella is average, but I think you have to look at Cucurella the way I think most managers look at someone like Aspilicueta. That yes, Aspilicueta was a very, very good one-on-one defender. But outside that, what he really brought to the team was energy. He brought energy into the team. He was a very good. Cucurella has shown to be a good uh, tactically aware player in the sense that under Maresca, he was playing different roles as a left back. He's either play inverting to play left midfield, not center midfield, or he's inverting to play as a inside 10 sometimes. So he played a number of different roles under Maresca, and I think that's something to. He's a tactically you can mold him to be anything you need for a game by game basis. I think that's why he's a good left
So,
back.
so
He's
yeah,
in my
Alex.
top five left backs.
Yeah, so Alex, you've called. I want you to. So, like, before you complete your list, I'm not. For me, I see Cucurelas, and I guess maybe again, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. But that could be one issue. But one of the reasons Cucurella stands out for me is what Mike has said. So when you're looking at a player, for me, when I'm looking at players, I look at players that can do different things for coaches. And I know some people, some people like, if you're a left back, play your left back very well. But Cucurella did that inverted role very well. And I say Cucurella does not have numbers, but I think it's also the way Chelsea has been this season. Like there are seasons where Cucurella gave us assist or like even, and sometimes they don't even look at assist alone. Even the ball before the assist, that pass. So what Cucurella plays, the fact that he can play his left back very well, he can do that inverted role very well, and then he can play like this. In the last two games he played on the left wing, and he does that very well. That's why I would rate him. But I want to hear the two others. So for your top five, you've called Trufe is good. I'm not going to Trufe it's nice that you called Trufe because that's someone that just came into our radar this season. I don't know where it was last season, so and it's been
Shit.
French
impressive.
league.
Okay, yeah, the guy has been impressive. And that goes to say, like, how do those people scout for their players? Because I don't know, like, is it difficult? How do these guys get players that other, like, not even say other teams? Chelsea is just bad with scouting. Because Juve has come and look at this guy, Ew, to where they get Ew from. Like, those guys are good.
Cale has been there for like 2-3 seasons, I think.
So yeah,
It was
just
just it was not starting because Messi and Houston and what was the other guy that went to waste. Those three guys were way ahead of him. So that was that. For me, the best left back, yes, is Calafiori. I fully agree that Calafiori has been the best at least outstanding left back these last 2 seasons to me. Nico O'Reilly for this season has been better than Calafiori because Calafiori has been injured most of the season. Anthony Robinson is who I would put as the
Just
best
yes.
left back, in my opinion. Yeah, Robinson. I rate Trufe, but I don't rate Trufe higher than
What about
Cucurella.
Keke?
Who else? Like,
I
well,
remember there was an
Keke,
argument about Kekes and Cucurella. Like,
yeah,
how
Keke had a
over
very
Kekes?
poor season. Yeah, Keke had a poor season. I cannot put him above Cucurella this season. Cucurella has far outshined based on let's say the entire time that Keke has been in the Premier League, Cucurella has outshined him for that entire period, except that one season, almost last season. Aside that, I don't think so.
Yeah,
So
So
yeah,
why?
those are my top five.
for me,
Okay. So why?
I'll say my top three. Let me start with top three. You know, definitely Calafiori. is up there just because for me, his versatility, his ability to play different role, and also his ability to play that inverted midfield role as well. Is he's very physical. He has great technical quality. Ball progression, ball carrying, just aerial dominance, you name it. Calafiori is there. I think, matter of fact, I think I will even go beyond the Premier League. And I'm not just saying this because he's an Arsenal player. I've watched that guy play in different roles, and I'm even confused. Like, what are we? Is he actually a left back, or are we playing him in the wrong position? The last game that he played, at some point I saw him on the right wing. I'm like, what's this guy doing here? But anyway, he can play several different roles, very versatile. So that's one thing that I like about Calafiori. I'll say my number two will be Nico Riley. Nico Riley is obviously Man City's player of the season. Did you know that? He's Premier League Young Player of the Season.
Yeah, this season as well. Yeah.
I think he has about five Premier League goals, three assists. Definitely won the Carabao Cup for Manchester City, two goals against Arsenal. So Nico Riley will be my second pick, just because he's not a natural left back. He's a midfielder, but he was tasked with that role, and he owned it, basically owned it, and playing that role perfectly, and also is also good at inviting into midfield as well, and then make forward runs, very very confident on the ball, very strong on the ball. His passing is one of the best in Man City. Actually, he's one of the best passers in Man City currently. So I think that would be my number two. I've listened to conversations about Cucurella from both Alex and Michael. I'll say I don't. I mean, I won't. I won't be so negative or hard on Cucurella. I think he's actually a good defender. Is it top three material? No, but top five in the Premier League right now, I would definitely name Cucurella. He has flair. Defensively, he's very good, and even making forward runs, like you said, I'm saying even like that inverted midfield role that he plays sometimes at Chelsea, is one of the best actually. So I think I'll actually give Cucurella some grace. I will name him my number four. Number three, Anthony Robinson, like you mentioned, and then the fifth one, just because he's an Arsenal boy, Nkapi. I'm going to be biased 100%.
Which is funny. It's two center
No,
backs. Two center
yeah,
backs.
Nkapi,
Top
yeah,
five.
muted.
Yeah, continue. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's
Nobody
a,
called
Yeah.
yeah.
nobody called Luis Kelly. I'm shocked you guys didn't call Luis Kelly.
Lewis Kelly, to be honest, in left back, Lewis Kelly didn't really have a great season, especially when Mikel dropped him and favored Nkapi and Calafiori instead. So now he just have revelation this towards the end of the season, because now we're playing him in his actual preferred position, which is midfield, and he's better there. So I wouldn't mention him. Last season I would have given him a special shout out, but this season I would say he had a great season in the left back position.
Okay, before you talk about your two, for me, the first person is Nico Riley. For me, it's top and it's young, and for me, I like utility players. If yes, that's your position, but if as a manager, I can ask you to do something else and you execute it very well, so you get that. After Nico Riley, unfortunately for everybody, I'll put Cucurella there, and I explained that for just that same reason. Being able to carry out, if a coach says do something that you can do it, and again for me as a player, you need to turn up in big games, and Cucurella has done that. Like, yeah, so I don't even need to go back and forth. I'll put him there. Yeah, Calafiori is good. Again, when I talk about players, it's a player that is available that I'm going to put up there. If you're injured half of the season, I'm not putting you in my top five, because if you are not playing, of course, injury is not, you are not the reason why you're injured, but I don't have the full stats to measure that, because you're injured half of the season. So it's Nico Riley, Cucurella for me. So Nico Riley number one, Cucurella number two, Calafiori you get number three. And there's this guy I like at Crystal Palace. I always joke that the guy doesn't moisturize. So,
Oh,
sorry,
Tyreek
Tyreek
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
I like Mitchell. Like, that guy does the job well. I would put him, yeah, and of course the Robinson guy for Fulham. It was also neat. Like, people who nobody's making so much noise about them, but they're going about the business, they're doing their job neatly. So for sure. So yeah, I'm waiting for your last two, Alex.
Okay, no. So, as a matter of fact, I even have a more structured side, and I think you guys have missed a couple of persons. So, also, it's difficult for me to strike a balance in terms of understanding what is the yardstick we are judging a left back on. Is it on this season alone, or in the course of
This
their career?
this season.
This
So,
season,
this is
this season,
so
this
so
season.
so on this season sample size, it's unfortunate that Cucurella is not in my top five. So if you had said last season where Chelsea had done well and won a couple of titles, I would have said Cucurella did well. But there are people who had standout seasons individually, you know. Like for last season, Kekes was basically one of the best players in the league when he was playing for Bournemouth. But this season he has been a shamble and a ghost in terms of he has been like he doesn't I can't even recognize him. But just to mention my top five, it won't be fair if I also mention Califury as my top five because you mentioned something. Availability matters, right? So I would mention available players who have been on top form this season. For me, Nico Riley stands out. He's obviously the young PFA player of the year. Now, why does this seem so special and unique as a profile? Nico Riley primarily is a number 10 who whose trade by nature is to create chances. The fact that he has been one of the best one-on-one defender as a left back in Man City has been amazing. The fact that he has given in terms of big games, he turns up. Real Madrid, Arsenal, just to name it, Chelsea, the big games, Nico Riley is there. He's the one winning the game for Man City. In terms of composure on the ball, in terms of tactical flexibility, you guys talked about Cucurella playing inside midfield. Nah, he's not even close to Nico Riley in terms of tactical flexibility, playing as a four, playing as a 10. So that's my first call. The second guy I'm going to call, I think he had an outstanding season, and everybody's mad at Thomas Tuchel for not picking him from England squad. He is Lewis Hall. I think that is a special left back. He had a fantastic season in Newcastle, regardless of the fact of the injury that Newcastle suffered. And I also think they suffered fatigue this season because Newcastle kind of play heavy metal football like Liverpool used to play under Jurgen Klopp, and they suffered fatigue, serious fatigue and injury this season. So Lewis Hall, in my opinion, was about Newcastle's best player this season. It takes my number two spot. The third guy I'm going to call is someone people do not appreciate because he's a seasoned left back. But I'm going to call him Lucas Digne of Aston Villa. He's one of the most technical left backs in the world. A left back who scores free kicks. A left back who crosses corners. He has ability on the ball. He's very sturdy and steady. He doesn't make mistakes. He's never there for the crazy highlights. I bet you nobody has a terrible highlight of Lucas Digne. He's a very 7 over 10 defender. He's in my third position. Number four is Nkapi. For a large part of this season, we lost Califieri. Miles Lewis Kelly could not fill that boot. Nkapie, as a player who didn't have preseason, who was bought as a left centre back, came into Arsenal, filled the position of left back, and did absolutely well when Arsenal was having injury problems. For the crunch part of the season, where we are having 7 fixtures, 8 fixtures in a month, and Nkapie did an amazing job. It takes my number four position. He had a fantastic game. Then the last guy is Trufe for Bournemouth. Bournemouth lost Kekes to Liverpool. They lost Hoyland to Real Madrid. They lost Zebain to PSG. It was a new defense, totally new defense, and you had a lot of young players there. Truffert was one of those guys who just came in and nobody knew about him. The guy held that left back spot to his own. The ability for him to go front and come back is amazing. When I watched him against Arsenal, I was like, who the hell is this guy? The guy bust that flank back to back, and our attacker could not beat him. Our left winger could not beat him. So for me, those are my calls this season. Kokarek doesn't fall into that category this season. He has had a terrible season. Chelsea has had a terrible season, and he hasn't stood out as an individual player in Chelsea. Maybe last season he would have been my top three, but this season, no way.
Fair point, fair point. Yeah, I like with when players stand out. So fair point. You justified your pick, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, nice one, nice one. We've talked a lot about the EPL. Let's go to the World Cup. A lot of now and again, this is also we're going into opinions this week. So many opinions. Who did not pick? Who did they pick? Who did not pick? And now Pedro was not called out. Again, goes to the same this Chelsea that is affecting the careers of these young players. Because again, going to your point, I feel like sometimes a player can be great, but they're in a bad team. Like Chelsea has had like 3 or 4 managers this season at different times. It's difficult for you to excel in that kind of toxic environment and work culture. So Pedro wasn't called for the World Cup, and the internet they had divided opinions. I like Joao Pedro. He's a good player. But for me, one thing I always say when I'm talking about football with my friends is I don't I hardly question the coach's lineup. It's as a fan it's difficult sometimes because you want to win. But I believe that this coach has gone to school for this thing. They know what they are doing. So you have to trust them. So my opinion is I think Ancelotti, who is also a great coach, I think he wanted like balance in his decision, but some people disagree, and I think sometimes we take emotions into this thing. Oh, he has this, he has that, but I'm setting up the stage. Like I think Brazil already has like creative people. Like they took. I'm not going to drop Vinicius. I'm not going to drop Rafinha, who is mad. Like I'm not going to drop Vinicius and this Hendrick, the young guy, that guy, because that guy is also unpredictable. He's young, and I think that guy has been playing for the Brazil team. If I was in Ancelotti's shoes, those I think those were tough decisions I have to take. But I guess some people that are like, oh, but Cunha is going. Why is Cunha going and Joao Pedro not going? I think the way Cunha plays, I think Cunha can press. I think Cunha can press, and his link up play is good. I think so. And then again, the biggest thing, okay, why Neymar and all of that. So, what do you guys think? Should Pedro be in that World Cup team, or does Ancelotti would Ancelotti be justified in his decision for dropping Pedro over? The internet was Pedro over Neymar, but who would you have taken over Pedro? There's also the guy Brentford. So if you were the Brazilian coach, who would you have taken? What decisions would you have made? Would you make a different decision?
Okay, so first of all, I want to shout out to the Don Clericuzio of football, who is Ancelotti. It's uh, it's very difficult for me to say anything wrong about Ancelotti. Ancelotti is right to pick primary school children and field in the national team. I'm just saying to prepare a premise or a foundation before I go into being kind of critical. Yes, I think not putting Del Pedro was a was not a mistake because I mean that was a clear decision, but I mean to the fans it was a huge error. Um, Joao Pedro is a special player, so you have very few players who, and Brazil always produces these 9.5 type of players who are not nine, but they are also not 10. They play in the middle, they play in that pocket. Cunha is that type of player, João Pedro is that type of player. Before Gabriel Jesus had his injury, he was that type of player. And as a matter of fact, Hendrick feels like that type of player, but he has more explosive capabilities, liking him to Delima of yesteryears. I think João Pedro was a huge miss. There were players I saw that I couldn't understand. A player like Luis Enrique who plays for Zenit St. Petersburg, and also Ryan in Bournemouth. You picking those two players above João Pedro, in my mind, is almost like an insult because those guys don't come close in terms of season performance, in terms of statistics, in terms of even pressing. As a matter of fact, Chelsea's best player this season is João Pedro. This is his first season in Chelsea, and he has scored 15 goals. I think about 8 or 9 assists. You know, for in the league, that is fantastic feat for a team that is not playing with a top nine. He's not a nine. João Pedro is a 9.5, And there was a period under Maresca that Maresca was playing him out of position. He used to play him on the left wing, he used to play him a lot deeper. to start the press. Joao Pedro is a fantastic player. I felt for a team like Brazil, they needed a player like Joao Pedro. But I mean they have other talent, but I think it was a huge mistake in Ancelotti's decision.
I mean, I would say mistake because again, like you said,
Yeah,
Ancelotti is
yeah,
our don, that is our mafia god. We don't
yeah,
question whenever it comes to because we have won. He's one of my favorite managers ever. My favorite Chelsea
yeah.
manager ever. Uh, Based on that season that we scored 100 goals, I think was it
Yeah.
100 goals or 100 points? The one Anelka and this one. The first season he won the league.
100
I
goals. You guys have not done 100
100 goals,
points.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think João Pedro's problem here is that he's okay. So let's do it like this: the Ryan and
Luis.
Luis Enrique and Gabriel Martinelli and Vinicius and Rafinha. I think he has picked these guys as wingers. I don't see him. I think he doesn't see João Pedro as a winger. So João Pedro's position was going to be between 9 and 10. So for 9, I think Igor Thiago is going to start as the proper, normal, like the actual kind of Carlo Ancelotti's favorite kind of nines.
First,
The not really Benzema, but the backing nines, the strong ones, the ones who can bully defenders, also run with the ball, also hold up properly, the actual proper nines. I think Igor Thiago is that for him. I think Hendrick, again, for the explosive pace and the finishing, is going to be the bench nine, the guy who comes up the sub, who comes in late in games to win games or do something different. That means Jao Pedro is not any of these two guys. Can't really do what this. Again, he's a very good footballer. He's a very intelligent footballer. He can do anything he wants, but he does really. His skills are not really what his best skills are not what these two guys do. So that leaves the number 10 position. And to be honest, if I'm Ancelotti, I'm looking at who to choose for number 10 between Neymar and João Pedro. I am always going to pick Neymar. That's just what it is. I think it's a mistake. Yes, I agree with everybody. I think it's a big mistake to leave João Pedro. Like he could have found a space because João Pedro is too unique a footballer. He's the exactly as we're saying. He's a 9.5, 10 player. He to me he's more in hurricane mode than a proper number 9. He's a player that can, that you should just let him do what he needs to do on the pitch and he will figure it out and he will win you games. He should have been taken. But to play devil's advocate and to support my godfather in the mafia business, in the mob, in the mob school, I kind of understand this one, so I can give him a pass, but he should have taken him. That's my own opinion.
yeah, now that you're saying they should have taken him. If Portugal is still taking, who is this guy? This guy that's won the Saudi League now. Ronaldo is going to play for. They found space for Ronaldo. I'm sure they could have found space for Joao Pedro and things like that. But yeah, what do you guys think about Ronaldo still getting Ronaldo and Messi? They're going. What do you guys think about that?
There's no Portugal without Ronaldo. Ronaldo is the
Wow.
godfather of Portugal. He's the first name on the sheets. And as long as he's still fit and he can still score goals, he's definitely going to go. So I don't think that's even a debate. Everybody knew, everyone expected that for Ronaldo to go. He just won the title for Al Nassr finally after so long. So I don't think that was a big major reason why he's going. I think he was going to go regardless anyway, even if he won the league title.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Ronaldo is gonna go. Last chance, last opportunity for him to finally get that one trophy that he hasn't received in his career. I think this is a great boost for his career, and I don't necessarily think Portugal is gonna win the World Cup. I think they're far from it, but I think it's a great opportunity for them. Ronaldo is definitely gonna make that squad.
Well, I think it's too early for us to start talking about who's going to win the World Cup. Like, yeah, you guys should just keep waiting, watching this space. We'll have a full session on predictions for who's winning World Cup who is winning gold digits and things like that. But going to Ronaldo, do you think that would Portugal play better without forcing Ronaldo into the team? Because like in some of the previous games, some people have argued that okay, maybe this guy should drop Ronaldo. Like you can bring him on like when you guys are winning the game, just like for ceremonious kind of bringing somebody on to the game, not him being in your plan. What do you think about that? Do you think that team would do better without Ronaldo like starting games?
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yes.
absolutely. You can't be 41 years and think you are 25 years. I have nothing but respect for his career. There's always been this old time debate of Messi and Ronaldo, and I know me and Percy don't see me and Deji don't see eye to eye on that because he is a Ronaldo fan and I'm a Messi fan. But I respect Ronaldo, but I think he's past his prime. So for me, unfortunately, they don't have elite strikers, right? But if you recall, 2010 in South Africa, the Spanish team that won the World Cup, they fielded six midfielders and a striker in the Villa mode, right? I think Portugal is blessed with midfielders. The likes of Vitinha, João Neves, Bruno Fernandez, Bernardo Silva. They are blessed with midfielders who are not in the same class of 2010, but they are not too far in terms of technicality, right? They are also very experienced and proven midfielders. I think Ronaldo doesn't have the energy to make those runs anymore. People now have to work for him. It's like carrying a spare man. You understand? I also think I also think when you are going into a tournament like the World Cup, you can't carry any baggage. I think Ronaldo should go to the World Cup, but he should go more like an ancillary figure, someone who is behind the scene, trying to push them, someone who comes in, 80 minutes, 75 minutes when, you need that big guy to come and
But this
deliver,
is what I
to
was
bring in
asking
the
you
ginger.
guys.
But
Like,
you can't
I
build
was
your team
saying,
around
do you
Ronaldo
think
at
Portugal have the best
42
midfield
next
depth
year,
like for this
you know.
tournament?
I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I
So I
think
think he's
they
past his prime.
definitely
He
do
has done
have a
his
deep
best. He
midfield
has done his
squad,
best,
players
and
like, Bernardo
Portugal will be
Silva,
better, far better
Joao
team
Neves,
without Ronaldo
Bruno
right now.
Fernandez. They do
Right
have a
now,
very strong, and
100%.
even have attacking players that can also drop down to play midfield positions, like Joao Felix, for example. He's very versatile, can play around that midfield position and also behind the striker. So I think they have a very strong midfield depth, midfield squad. Another team that I can say would, probably go toe to toe with them in terms of midfield would be France. France has, some very intelligent players in the midfield. I also have players that can rotate between midfield and attack. But for me, I'll say even let's not forget Germany.
Spain.
Spain hasn't
Yeah,
received.
Alex, I just want to get because Alex, before you dropped off, you were talking about the strength of Portugal, and I was asking them like if they think Portugal has the strongest midfield depth.
Yeah, so I think they are top two, top three. So in my opinion, there are three teams that have the best midfield. It has to be between Spain, Portugal, and France. So for Spain, you have Rodri, you have Zubimendi, you have Fabian Ruiz, you have Mikel Merino, you have Pedri, you have Gavi, you have Dani Olmo.
But the
So
same team is dangerous, so low key. I
yeah,
don't
They
so
know.
have they have
This Simon
you
Vigia was
have,
the most side since 2012. Like,
you have you have a plethora of midfielders who are technically gifted. For France, you have the likes of Ryan Cherki, Tchouaméni, Kante, Andrea Rabiot. You have this type of players. However, France have dropped a bit in terms of quality in midfield. If you compare them to the Pogba days of 2020, 2018 and 2022, and also they've dropped players like Camavinga and Turan, Kefren Turan. So they are a bit light in midfield, but I mean it's the shot. So let's see what the shot is coming up with.
Alex, I have a
But
question for you. In terms of when
okay,
you called the Spanish midfielders and their technicality, but do you think that they can dominate physically and not just technically? Because those guys, they're technical. But in terms of like physical, do you think they can dominate physically the Spanish midfield?
So Spain has never been a team that would dominate physically. If you watch, I would just take you back to the big games they played. They played, I think, their last 3 years against France, and they totally dominated France. Technically, the last one being the was it Euros? Yeah, maybe the Euros, and they dominated France totally in that game. So all they need is one base midfielder who is like a Rodgers behind you. The remaining guys, they switch positions. The likes of Pedri, the likes of Dani Olmo, the likes of Fabian Ruiz, they just switch positions, interchange, and they are very good at it. As a matter of fact, Spain don't use up until they started using Nico Williams and this guy in Barcelona. Spain don't typically used to have miders. They used to have midfielders who are wingers. If you recall, as far back as 2010, they used to have Iniesta and David Silva playing their wings. These are tens.
I didn't think about
So
it. But that's
so that's
true.
how they play. So they chop the midfield and everybody interchanges. So Spain is so I mean it's not a physical team. They are just very technical and they are very good at it, right? So I think, in my opinion, they are in my opinion they are favorites.
Oh, okay, okay. So we're dropping favorites Loki now. So you
Yeah,
said, I liked what you said about baggage, that you shouldn't take baggage. So is Messi baggage for Argentina?
Messi is a culture. Messi is a culture. Messi is a culture. Messi is a
But all
culture.
Messi, they are both in their prime. They are both 40
No, no,
plus.
no, 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 no,
So
no, no, no,
they
no,
are
no. We need to. So we need to call. So we need
both.
to call the effects of players in national team. The last World Cup Messi played, he had 7 goals, 5 assists. Arguably the man of the tournament at 35 years. 35
7
years.
goals. How many of the goals were
Messi,
penalty goals? We
regardless,
can do this debate now or later.
regardless,
When do you want to do it? Now or
regardless.
later?
So
Oh,
Messi,
oh, oh. No, 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 no. So
like,
I have a quick question for you. Were the 5 assist penalties as well?
No, they were not. Obviously, they're not.
Fantastic.
No.
Fantastic. So they were open play penalties. So see, Messi practically carried that team without the likes of Lautaro Martinez and Aguero, who had a heart issue before the tournament. When it comes to Argentina, Messi plays like a madman. Now, I'll tell you the two differences between Ronaldo and Messi. Ronaldo is a goal scorer, he's a machine. But beyond goal scoring, what does Ronaldo bring into the game? For Messi, Messi is a goal scorer also. But beyond goal scoring, Messi can drop and become a playmaker. He
can he,
sees the game in a different way.
can he
He can
defend?
he doesn't need to defend when he controls the game. So Messi controls the game. Messi can do what Bernardo Silva does. He can do what Vitinha does. He can do and what Rancheki does. Ronaldo can't do that. Ronaldo has to score goal to have relevance. That is the type of player he is. But Messi can go through a tournament. He might not score a goal in this tournament, but he have 5 assists. That's value. That's value. So I mean, and also going into this tournament, there's no pressure on Messi. He has won the World Cup. He has completed football. So, and the biggest advantage a player can have is when you go into a tournament without any form of pressure on your game. Messi is going into 2026 World Cup just going to have fun. Ronaldo is not. Ronaldo is going to win that tournament. He needs to win the tournament,
Yeah.
and he wants to win the tournament.
So we've spoken about Spain, Portugal, and then we're going to go to England and talk about the biggest drop-offs. I know we talked about Joao Pedro and Neymar, but in Germany, nobody like I support my national team. I like Germany. I support Germany for my national team. I know I'm wearing the England jersey, but Germany's national team. Do you guys think that these guys are mentally back, or like what are we expecting to see from Germany like in this World Cup? Like has it been? Is there a team? Do we have a new team culture now? And what should we expect from them? Or are we going to put them in the segment of underdog conversation like the Croatia, Netherlands, and Belgium? Because in the past they'll be in these conversations, but so are they mentally back? What should we expect from them in this World Cup?
Um, I know people like to. I know people are putting Germany as dark horses. I'm really not. I'm really not. I
And
don't believe in that Germany squad way people do. Like basically, I think it's maybe they have two outstanding players in each not position but in each zone. So maybe two outstanding defenders. Level say Rudiger is an outstanding defender. Let's just put him in the conversation for now. Like, okay, they have Rudiger and Schlotterberg and Jonathan Tah. Okay, and Malik Thiaw. I think Malik Thiaw is even the best of those. Yeah, I think Malik Thiaw is
Really?
probably
Malik
of
Thiaw?
those four. Jonathan Tah is a very slow defender. Rudiger has not been Rudiger in for like 3 seasons now. And who is the other person I mentioned? Schlotterberg. Schlotterberg is a chaotic defender for Dortmund. He will defend well for 80 minutes and make two mistakes that will lead to goals. So Tao is probably the one who is the most
He
stable.
has a lot of
Uh,
mistakes in him, or just to add.
yeah, but
Malik
yeah,
Thiaw has a
he
lot
has
of mistakes in
it
him.
does, it does, it does.
most is not. Schlotterberg is the worst. Schlotterberg is the worst of all
He,
of
he
them.
had an amazing season this year in Dortmund. Has an
In
amazing
Dortmund,
season. Yes, he had an amazing season.
well, yes, yes, but again, in terms of errors leading to goals, I think it was probably a high number as well. Anyway, for the last few seasons, it has always been like that. I don't know about this season in particular, but I
Okay.
know I saw some games where he definitely made errors to get the goal. He's always like that.
Crime scene. He was always at the
So,
crime
and
scene.
then midfield is Goretzka and Kimmich. Who else is really going to maybe
No, Pavlovic.
start
Goretzka is not
for?
starting. Pavlovic in
Eh?
Bayern Munich.
Okay, see, Pavlovic and Kimmich. That's their midfield. Then okay, they have very good attackers. They have Musiala, Havertz, Watamede, Gnabry.
Words.
Is Gnabry even still going to the World Cup? I don't think he is
That's
going
true.
to.
Right, right. You're not even
You
calling
have
Vets.
words.
Havertz, Sane. So they have good. Again, World Cup is weird in a way that for the last few years or last few editions, I think the World Cup is less about the best team and more about the team that can defend well and take their chances. Which is what happened to which is what happened to Argentina. I don't think Argentina was the best team in that World Cup. I think it was France. And when France won the World Cup, I don't think France was the best team. I think
It was Belgium.
it was Belgium exactly.
Yeah.
So is how you defend well and take your chances. And to add to the thing you were saying about Messi, like basically last World Cup, what they did was they built the team around Messi in a way that they said, okay, Messi, you are old. We don't want you to run around. We want you to be our playmaker. We don't need you to defend. Let every other person defend. So McAllister, Enzo Fernandez, Julian Alvarez, everybody around him, even Di Maria. Who was the other winger? I forgot who was the other winger. But everybody else was just defend. Then when you have this, let Messi have the ball. Let him create the chances. Ronaldo's problem is that Ronaldo is not that. Ronaldo has to score goals
Yeah.
to be there. And when you're not telling that your number nine in the modern game cannot defend, he has to just be around the box and trying to. When you're not a possession dominant team like that, I think it's problematic. I think Ronaldo should be a sub coming in later in the game to win games. I don't think he should be starting. I think they would be better off not starting him, even though Ramos is not even that good a striker as the backup. I don't even think they even have any good starting strikers. But anyway, back to Germany. Germany, oh, they are not that close to me. Oh, I think they will get out of the group stage. Maybe they will drop in the knockout round or the round after that. I don't see them going that far based on the players that they have right now. Because they have good attacking quality, but the midfield and defense I don't see anything in them that will take them very far.
So beyond Joao Pedro omission, are there? Do you guys think there are any biggest omissions from all of these managers from the people who have paid? Are there any biggest omissions you can think about? Of course, we can talk about. We can. Do you think Palmer, Foden, they were? Are they? Would England miss them? I don't think so. So
No.
I don't think so. But are there any other omissions that you think? Oh wow, this manager is not taking this player. that's huge. Apart from Pedro, because are there any biggest omissions you can think about?
For me, just two. One would be in the I think we already spoke about that. That's Kamavinga for the France squad. I was That was a big shocker for me. I was expecting him to go to the World Cup, but and then another one would be Lewis Hall for England. I was a bit shocked on that one. I was expecting him to be one of the first names on the team sheet, but you know, so for me, those two are the standouts players aside from Joao Pedro.
Yeah, and has said a
For
lot
me,
about Tuchel and the way Tuchel likes to play. Like Tuchel is not a Tuchel likes structure, and Mickey has said that. And when you were, I'm remembering this because of what you said about the teams that win the World Cup. Is the teams that defend and take their chances. So that could explain Tuchel's selection in terms of what he did. But do you think they have enough defenders that can compete for the World Cup? England.
oh yeah, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Uh, I think like he came out later and said that he has picked a team for set pieces and what was the other word? There's two things he said. Um, I can't remember the other thing he said, but the set pieces one is the one that clicked to me like, okay, so this is the game plan. It means that his game plan is basically to contain but not exactly low block because he has chosen Gay and Konsa, I think, are going to be the starting centre back. So those guys have pace. They are good at low block, but probably not the best, or else they have taken Maguire. So I think he's going to contain a bit in the sense that he's going to be possession heavy, but he's also giving himself the chance that set pieces are going to be huge for him. I think the biggest, like we were talking about it last week when I said that it's going to be one of Bellingham, Palmer, and Foden. I don't see him taking all three, and we all agree that yes, Bellingham is the one that's going to take. Even though I don't think Bellingham is starting, I think Rogers is going to start. And Rogers is going to start because of Harry Kane. And because Harry Kane doesn't play nine like an actual nine, he plays nine more like a 10. It means you need somebody for the midfield who is going to be running to the box. You don't need Foden and Palmer to come and be in those same spaces that Kane wants to be in, trying to create. You need somebody who is going to be attacking the box. And those two turns he has taken in
Rogers.
Rogers and Bellingham are going to be that for England. Which is why I think it's weird that he didn't take Morgan Gibbs White. I
Yeah,
really
that
feel he
was
should have taken
that's
Gibbs
an
White.
omission. That's an omission you're saying. It's
Yeah,
shocking.
yeah, I think that one was at least to me, that's a shocking omission. It was never Palmer or Foden. I didn't believe they were going to go. But I thought Gibbs White will go because Gibbs White can play all three positions plus midfield as well
So would he
behind Kane.
have done Bellingham, right?
Sorry?
So what would he have done? Would he have taken Gibbs White over Bellingham?
I don't think so. I think honestly, I think it's like Jet Spence, for example, that should have withdrawn. I don't know why he's carrying. I know he likes Jet Spence apparently, but like Gibbs White is an attacker. Jet Spence, you already have enough fullback defender, the fullback defensive players like Kwanzaa, for example. You took Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa can play right back. Why can't Kwanzaa play right back? So why not take Gibbs White? Gibbs White was the one to me that I felt he should have taken outside everybody else.
And then we've talked about Harry Kane. Harry Kane, and it's nice that we've talked about Messi and Ronaldo. And now Messi and Ronaldo are gone. And so is this? And I think Harry Kane has scored like 60 goals or some crazy start this season. Is it the rightful heir to that conversation when we talk about Messi, Ronaldo? Does Kane get in that conversation? When we talk about Harry Kane, the success, like of course, Harry Kane was successful in the Premier League, but now all of these blistering stats we're hearing, is it as a result of him being at Bayern, better service, or he has also evolved as a person, as a striker, finishing as improved? So, who is the Harry Kane right now? Like, and yeah, and is he getting into that Messi Ronaldo conversation? Yeah.
I don't know if it's in the good conversation because honestly, I've always loved Harry Kane. I think, you know, when we're talking about how I want Tottenham to
Yeah.
relegate. I think Tottenham wasted Hurricane's best years, but
Hmm.
happily and good for him that he's finally gaining all the things that he missed out at Tottenham by spending too long there. Um, I don't know if he's in the GOAT conversation.
Hmm.
Harry Kane has always been by one of my favorite number nines for like the last 10 years at least. He has been up there as a number nine. I don't know if it's right to say he has improved. Obviously, definitely you improve with age for sure, and you improve with better players around you. The numbers he's posting, I felt like he could have posted them if he was in a better team in England. If he had gone to Man U early enough or had gone to a resurgent Liverpool when Klopp was looking at him or all those other guys, he might have posted these exact same numbers as well. So yeah, maybe being in a better team, making him post better numbers, but I don't think per se that it's because of that. Um, I'll say this season, I don't think he's going to win Ballon d'Or, even though I think he's one of the best players this season. I don't think he's going to win Ballon d'Or unless England win the World Cup, which I don't think England is going to win the World Cup either. So I don't see him winning Ballon d'Or, but just respect to him that he's one of the best players on the planet right now and he's showing it.
Yeah, and Alex, this question is for you in terms of like talking about Harry Kane and talk about Ronaldo is 41, he can only score goals. But we have Harry Kane, who I think, I don't know if he has changed his playing style to preserve his energy. Like, he's less, I think, from the games I've watched, he's dropping deep less. And it's more of like poaching, scoring goals. He's not making all those like going into the. He does that sometimes, but not doing that as often as he used to when he was a younger player. Do you think things like that would allow him play the game longer? So how many more years do you think Harry Kane is in the game for with all of these numbers he's doing this season? Yeah. Are we expecting to see like he's going to play for as long as all of these guys are going to retire soon? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, is the question for me?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, just
Oh,
what you
okay.
think? Harry Kane,
Okay, so
is it the conversation? Like Michael thinks does the goes conversation for sure. Yeah.
no, so first of all, Harry Kane is not in the GOAT conversation. He's not in that conversation at all. He's a prolific striker. That is what he is. And I'll take my bias off. He's a fantastic striker. He's a goal
As
scorer.
an Arsenal
But
fan, the bias is there, so just let's put it out there for everybody to know.
no, no, no. I'm taking my bias off because I like the guy as an individual. He's not a drama centered human being. He's a very laid back guy. So it's easy to like him. Other than the fact that he has some affiliation to my own club, but outside that, he's a fantastic player. What I see in Harry Kane is he has metamorphosed his game over the years from being a striker to being more of a creative head, trying to get involved in midfield. And I think he started this part of his game 2020 during the COVID year after Pochettino left. And Tottenham was struggling for creativity when Eriksen was not available. They lost Musa Dembele. That their quality, that their spine so he lost that spine, and Harry Kane had to become more than just a nine. He became a 10 and a 9, and he realized that he can see the game differently. He had good vision, he had good passing, and since then he's been playing, the striker stroke 10 role. He's a fantastic player, but the numbers he's posting in Germany is not absurd. Lewandowski did some crazy numbers seasons ago. Even players like Luca Toni, Mario Gomez, they did these numbers, and these guys were not prolific strikers. The German league we all know is almost like a farmers league. It's a Bayern win the league or everybody go and sleep. So when you have a team that is built to win championship and they are built to deliver, give you ball at your service, and for someone like Harry Kane who is a poacher, he doesn't miss chances. It's very good. He will convert those opportunities and score goals. He did it in Premier League with a team like Tottenham. How much more Bayern Munich?
Just
But if you are
anticipating.
talking about players in that quality that maybe in the future would ascend to take the throne of Messi or Ronaldo, or maybe close to, It's players like Mbappe. Those are special players who can do it all. Mbappe, other than the antics and everything he's getting, is a special player. You come into a Real Madrid team, you are doing 30, 31 goals your first season in the league and doing 25 the second goal, missing 15 matches. You miss 15 matches and these 25 goals. So that is special. That's a special player.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. And then we just have like some questions for every one of us. 'Cause, like, well, this is like the end of it. You said
Okay.
something about Messi not being under pressure, which is why he's going to succeed at the World Cup, and Ronaldo being
Yeah.
under pressure. So all of us are going to answer at the start. Can you give one example of a player that is, apart from Ronaldo, because you mentioned Ronaldo, that is under pressure for this World Cup? And for me, I would say Mbappe. So I would say because the Ballon d'Or conversation is there, so he probably that's what I'm going to say. But yeah, so Michael, who is one player that, based on how Alex like kind of defined pressure and all of that, who is one player you think is under pressure to perform at this World Cup?
Vinicius, I'll say Vinicius because Vinicius right now. I know Real Madrid fans and most people associated with the club would rather keep Mbappe out than Vinicius. I think they prefer Vinicius over Mbappe. I am not in agreement with that. In my opinion, Vinicius is the one that is actually in trouble because they've already committed all that money to Mbappe. I don't see them taking out Mbappe, whereas Vinicius has what a year left on his contract. So very likely he's the one that is in trouble. So he needs to have an outstanding World Cup. I don't see Brazil going far and like that, but I think he as well needs to perform and show up to be in the Ballon d'Or conversation at all. He's not there, and he always wants to be, but he's not there at all right now. So World Cup is like his last real chance to show up and put something down.
I agree. I agree. Alex, what other player would you say is on one player you think is under pressure for the World Cup? You can't
So
mention Ronaldo here.
I don't even think it's player. You've already mentioned Ronaldo. I think the person that is most under pressure is Martinez, the coach of Portugal. You know, he is a nearly manager. I don't rate him. He wasted the golden generation of Belgium, and he now has the task of taking Ronaldo to the glory. And I think he can't. He's not that good. So he's the most person under pressure, other than Ancelotti, of course, because
He's
his
under
pedigree
pressure?
speaks for itself. Yeah, Ancelotti is under pressure. He is. There
Wow.
is no Brazilian team that is not under pressure. As long as
Yeah,
you are a
yeah.
Seleção manager, and as long as you're a Seleção manager, you are under pressure. The way
For me, Sha, I
and
think Tuchel is the manager most under
For
pressure.
manager,
no,
yeah, because you said
For
that
manager, I think it's
manager is
Tuchel.
secure.
But
They even say they're going to sack him after the World Cup. So already the guy is already there's pressure.
probably
So
not. But
no,
English
but
fans always know
no,
how
but
to promote the that is important.
on the premise of 60 years, Tuchel is not under pressure. No manager has done it for 60 years. Why Tuchel? I don't, you understand?
that's why
He only
I
took the
thought of
job.
English fans.
So you see, these things are intangible, or rather imaginary expectations. So pressure has to be, in my opinion, pressure has to be feasible. What are you basing the pressure on? That his name is Tuchel, or England fans are asking for a title. They've not won the title in 60 years. So what guarantees you that they're going to break that course? But in comparison to Brazil, Brazil haven't won the World Cup in 24 years, which is very abnormal. In the history of World Cup, Brazil has never gone for this long drought in history of World Cup. So you had people like after Ronaldinho, people like Neymar and the generation of Robinho and Kaká. After Kaká won 2002, of course, down to this recent generation, they don't know what World Cup is. If Italy qualified, I would have said Italy, of course. But right now, you are having one of the world's greatest manager. For me, my best manager is Marcelo Lippi, of course. And after Marcelo Lippi, has to be Ancelotti for the things he has won, right? You have a manager of that pedigree going to a team like Salazar, who have natural
I
demand to win the league or to win the World Cup.
think if he listens to this podcast, he's definitely going to be under pressure. Ancelotti is going to be
He,
under pressure.
he's under pressure. He's
Okay,
under
then
pressure.
what player do you think is under pressure going to the World Cup? And now that Alexa has talked about coach, maybe you can just pick one player, one coach.
Um, for player, I know you're gonna say I'm delusional right now, but it depends on the outcome of the Champions League final. If Arsenal wins the Champions League final, then I would say Declan Rice 100% is under pressure to win the World Cup. Because if he's able to add the World Cup to his trophy cabinet, then that means Ballon d'Or conversation is very, very.
Yeah, you're not delusional. That makes sense. That makes sense. I just didn't think about him because I didn't. I'm just thinking, why is he going to put himself under that pressure? He should calm down.
Yeah.
I don't know if England is winning the World Cup, but good point. Good.
So, and then for manager, I'll go with what Alex has said. Ancelotti, definitely. Brazil is expected. Brazil, there was a time where they used to do back-to-back World Cups. They have been like, they are the Real Madrid of the World Cup, and it's expected from them to win it. And it's been so long that they haven't won it. So I think Ancelotti definitely the manager under pressure to win the World Cup. But then there's also another manager, I'll say, France manager. I'd say he's also under pressure to win the World Cup because France is they're the favorites. I'll say, and I think they are currently the team they're the current holders. So definitely,
No, I did the
No,
orders.
no, Argentina is
I'm
probably.
sorry, Argentina. Okay, before Argentina it was France, and we all know how the final went. So I'm sure the whole world is watching to see if it's going to be like a revenge. France has an exceptional team; they have a great team, and then also it's questionable, his decision to drop Kamavinga, and the team selection. So everyone is going to be watching to see what France can produce in this World Cup. And I think the criticism on the France manager is very, very high. And then I see a lot of people also questioning his decision to add N'Golo Kante to the squad. A lot of people are saying Kante is not that guy anymore. He's past his prime. He's been playing in
Kante is special.
all that.
Kante is just special, man.
It's too
No,
special.
no, but I'm just all
Special.
things considered.
I
People
will
say,
always pick
wait,
Kante
man.
on the basis of
I have my respect for Kante forever, but there's a lot of conversations going on saying that Kante is past his prime and he shouldn't be in this squad. He shouldn't be.
No, we don't. We haven't seen that yet.
So I have.
We are is in, Baba is still in his prime. He's good.
Okay.
When we see him past his prime, we will know.
So I'll say for me, France manager, Brazil as well, they're under pressure to win the World Cup. But for me, for the player, depending on the outcome of the Champions League final, Declan Rice will be under pressure. If Arsenal go ahead and win the Champions League, Declan Rice will be under pressure to win the World Cup because that will mean his name will be in the Ballon d'Or best player conversation right there.
Yeah, good point. And then again, for our viewers, please drop in the comment section which player you think is under pressure and what manager you think is under pressure. I didn't think about manager, but now that you guys explained it, okay, I was leaning towards Tuchel based on that. I didn't think Ancelotti to be under pressure, but we'd like to hear from our viewers. And one last question. What team do you think will disappoint? Again, viewers, tell us. We'd like to know what teams you guys think will disappoint in this World Cup. What team do I think will disappoint? I think Portugal will disappoint. And yeah, I think they will disappoint. I'm saying that because they have a robust midfield, and you would expect that with that they should be able to give us some beautiful football. But because of their forward, they don't have many forwards. I'm not sure they will be able to take Portugal. I don't know how far. They wouldn't go far. So I'm saying that, but we'll see. Come June, July, we'll see. So Deji,
Well,
what team do
when you
you think
say
will
disappoint, do you mean like in terms of win or lose the World Cup, or in terms of going far all the way to semi?
team? In terms of the team, okay, these are the players in this team, and based on these players, we expect you guys to deliver, even if you don't win, get to a particular get. So yeah, I'm not sure Portugal will go very far.
For me, Germany.
Okay.
And the reason why I say
That
that is because
we expect it from them, because no expectations, no disappointment. But yeah,
for me, the reason why I said that is because Germany has an aging squad. Their squad is a mixture of 30s and above, and then they have a few young players, 24, 20, 24, 25. And I feel like, they're just not well oiled enough to actually perform on that world stage. They also have some players that I know. I mean, their midfield, their attacking midfield, definitely. Florian Wirtz, like you were mentioning just now about the squad. But for me personally, I think Germany is going to be one team that they're going to disappoint. They're not going to, take the full potential and go all the way. They might not even make it through the group stage.
That's a big shout, bro. That's a big,
That's a big
big.
shout. They probably will because
That's a big
their group
shout.
stage is
That's a big
Ivory
call.
Coast, Ecuador, so they'll probably make it. But
Shay,
I don't see
you're
them very
muted.
far.
You're muted, Shay.
I'm saying like we're here for big claims and we'll be
Oh
bringing
yeah,
out
yeah,
the
yeah. This is
facts.
a solid claim. I know.
Alex, Alex, what team would disappoint?
Ghana with disappointment. Ghana,
I'm not expecting anything of them.
Special shout.
special shout out to Ghana.
Yeah,
Ghana, they will disappoint as usual.
as usual, they'll come for you. They're coming for
Oh
you.
my god.
And then Mike, this guy. Wow.
um,
There's no coming back from that
okay,
one.
okay. Me, I think relative to what their fans think will happen, the team that will disappoint their fans the most probably, I feel is going to be England. I think England fans are expecting to win the World Cup or at least get to the final. That's not going to happen. I don't
You don't
believe
think so?
that's going to happen. I
You,
don't think it's going to
girls, structured squad.
happen. Oh, you know I love Tuchel now, but I don't think England are going to go that far. Maybe a quarter final, but because I feel the English media, because right now they're already building it slowly. By the time World Cup starts, we're going to see a lot of can this England squad win the World Cup? Why the England squad is going to win the World Cup? Guys, calm down. It's not like that. Like
We'll be building it from a
France.
match day tribunal point. But
France is in that World Cup, Spain is in that World Cup, Brazil is there. I think guys should calm down, but they're not going to calm down. So England to me are the ones that are going to disappoint their fans the most.
No, so
thank you.
other than the Ghana banter, I think the team that will probably lead in the group stage is Belgium. Belgium have an aging squad. They have failed to have a thorough transition. You still have people like Ventrogen in their defense. You still have Kelvin De
Wow.
Bruyne in that team, Lukaku. These players are old. Thomas Meunier is in the team. They still have they still have players who were in their prime 12 years ago in that team. So they fail to transition. They don't have the freshness anymore. And even the young players they have, they don't have enough to carry the mantle. Maybe Dogu and Luka Bakio, in Sevilla. Those are the few players they have. They don't have enough to carry the team. So Belgium is a big team. I definitely see not going far. The max they will probably go is round of 16. But I also have a small inclination that Portugal won't do well. Not because I don't like Portugal, but the manager is a terrible manager. Martinez is not a good manager. He has proven so in several tournaments with Belgium, and I don't think he can be able to carry Portugal anywhere. He doesn't have the tactical know-hows to win or to carry big teams. Then, contrary to what Michael said, I think England will go. They might not go all the way, but they will get to semi-final, maybe final. Tuchel is a Tuchel is a tournament manager. He has proven it over the years. He understands how to play one of games. He knows how to play one of games. Whether he has to play horrible football or he has to play, he just knows how to psychologically galvanize players for a one match type of game. And he has laid the precedence by dropping a lot of players and by picking a team that obviously is quite uh, how will I say it? He picked up a team that is being questioned by the media, right? He did that for a reason. He needs to be a dark horse already from his own people. he needs to take the pressure off his players on himself. That is a Mourinho move. When I saw that list, I told people that look, Tuchel just did a Mourinho thing. He has taken away pressure from those English players and put it on himself to allow those guys express themselves. Over the years, the English media puts a lot of pressure on the players and they can't play to their full potential, especially in the big games. So Tuchel understands the mind game in this kind of big tournaments. And I